share something. Excuse me. This is from Starseed Astrology. You can look this up yourself. We're talking about the blood of the lamb here. I'm in 19 degrees Aries. So I'm going to read this. I feel it's important for those who this resonates with. So America has suffered greatly, and so has the whole world because of the evil effects of our first ever Pluto returns. I don't know if you remember, I was talking about the Pluto return and removing, it's a big change. It's removing low vibrational energies, evils, honestly, out of your life, but, the world. Okay, but this April 8th, through the new moon, the total solar eclipse at 19 degrees Aries, we will triumphantly enter our long awaited first light time that will break the darkness of America's Plutonian dark night of the soul. Since time immortalized, Aries has represented by the ram, of which is the lamb, right, is the innocence infant version. The 19th degree of Aries esoterically governs the blood of the lamb in a profound astro-spiritual sense. And since this eclipse is a definite time of divine intervention, we predict great international themes of healing, rebirth, renewal, transformation through direct influences of the Good Shepherd, because this eclipse will align perfectly with Chiron, one of the Father's celestial healing forces. It will create a powerful new healing effect on Earth that will save life from death while avenging many great ongoing evils. And it goes into war. All right, Aries is the zodiac house of war. Remember, he's a warrior. The one might think that the eclipse is a house herald new war. To those who intuit this way, we say that you are right. This eclipse is a sign that heaven's war against satanic forces on earth will soon be escalating dramatically and in favor of humanity, with Archangel Michael, yeah, to have a shining role of the victories, defenses, and healing process to come. I said Archangel Michael was here. The divine war against evil will escalate through the opening of the cosmic seals at the 19th degree of Aries and governing firmaments across the globe. So another seal is being opened. I think it's the fourth seal. I'm not sure exactly which seal, but it's a seal. And you know who opens that seal? Well, Michael, Christ. As these seals are open, we will see a tide-turning events manifesting against demonic militaries, subversive political and cultural aggressors, and those who have conspired to damage the world through medical economical means. This is an eclipse of reckoning and revenge according to the measurements of judgment of God. Holy fires will soon be burning in places of greatest need. The healing will begin. The paradoxal, the eclipse will also usher in a precious new wave of healing and reconstruction into our lives, as it will rarely occur in a perfect conjunction to Chiron. Excuse me. And the Chiron is the chief healing deity of the Olympic level celestial government. A great amplification of Chiron's healing influence will be cast onto the world, including in especially in urgent, time-sensitive, life-saving ways. This person had a vision of a doorway. There's the doorways again. That's coming up. Being open before the dark. That's the doorway. I think Michael has shown me. Open before a dark human silhouette who was suffering. And when the door was open, a bright light filled the door frame. The person walked through and successfully healing was achieved on the other side. We will each be presented with new paths and means of definite God-blessed healing to accept when the eclipse comes. Simply walk through the doors. Oh, Maverick, if you see this, walk through the doors that open to you. No one is spared at all, and all are invited into a new healing light, but also know that this is a fateful time to change and transform out of negative ways with health or bad habits that impact health for the sake of the healing and the renewal. And then there's gold. The gold, that's a thing. That's been a big thing with the gold, with the Anunnaki and China. So the reconstruction, the eclipse will also usher in a 2-year cycle of economic reconstruction on the macro and micro levels. This influx can be seen through the semi-sextile, and the eclipse will make a Jupiter and Uranus and Taurus. the two planets most chiefly connected to the beneficial economic developments on Earth and for humanity. In our personal lives, we will be presented with new pathways of economic reconstruction that, if accepted, will lead to new economic stability, power, and potential. Unforeseen changes, transformations, and revelations will often drive new economic healing processes ahead. Although there will be a certain financial earthquake this year, I encourage many readers to take heart that despite certain hardships ahead, a greater cycle of economic ascension is opening. Be patient with the process, as seeds can't be rushed to bloom, right? But read the signs on the wall and go into the new ways of the gold that God confirms. The military. As Aries governs the military dimensions of life, we can expect dramatic, beneficial, and miraculous changes in the realm over the next 2 years, a process of Iranian alchemy, and we will prepare us for the world transforming transits of Saturn and Neptune in Aries, which commence jointly in February of 2026. More specifically, this eclipse will affect the process of transformation that converts military missions from the chaos into defense and healing. And we will see God's hand working through active forms of military. That's why Michael's here. Military crisis in the months ahead. Like, Michael's real. You know, if you don't understand that, Archangel Michael's very real. He's like the head of the militaries. Not here, though. And we will see God's hand working through active and forms of military crisis in the months ahead. Militaries have been exploited, abused, and used for evil, but the eclipse marks a time of pivotal change for the better. Secrets that have been contained or suppressed in the military sphere are soon to burst out. Mark that, dog-ear that in your little memory bank. Into the global commons. There are secret heroes that we will learn about and secret missions that will be brought into the light, and songs will be sung for the heroes unknown. The powers. The blood of the Lamb, degree of Aries resonates with new powers and new transformation that occur through the bestowal of acquisitions. People who serve God and the collective good of humanity will be receiving new powers over the next 2 years in such ways that amplify the success of their work, their ability to heal, and their spiritual missions on earth. Courage and leadership, two classical virtues of Aries, must be developed and expressed the highest levels as new powers come to the planetary transits advance. A stripping of power will also be experienced by the demonic class on Earth, who have abused power in cruel, subversive, and evil ways. Like I said, any of you people out there doing some really crappy things in the dark, it will come to light. Inner powers that have laid dormant will be activated. That came up in the reading I did yesterday. By the eclipse magic, while necessary healing for full power manifestation occur. Because you are so much more than you even know, ladies and gentlemen. You beautiful star seeds, you are so much more than you even know. Divine experiences with new healers will abound as a new environment of medical discovery, success, and innovation to take life. Naviv, Enlil. I'm going to talk about Enlil for a second. Who holds the arrow? We've been seeing that arrow in the veil. It is true that the eclipse will trace over 8 Navivs in the U.S. and Canada when it comes, so we think that God is calling global attention to the historical Naviv of ancient Assyrian, the Assyrian capital city that scholars have accurately described as the mighty kingdom of war, terrorism, cruelty, blood, victories, and sudden defeat. We think that this eclipse signals the doom of the modern-day Naviv, whose location we will leave for our readers to intuit. And that goes along with this gentleman I came across who has, and I posted his thing in the community of I got to be careful on here, what goes along with these cities, all right? And it goes back to 2020. I'm just going to leave it like there, okay, because they're all connected. We think that the eclipse signals the doom of modern Naviv. Okay, here are the states where the Naviv is located: Indiana, Missouri, New York, Ohio, Pennsylvania, Texas, and Virginia. There was also a Naviv in Nova Scotia, and in ancient times, God overthrew this demonically warlike kingdom of darkness, and we think that this will happen again. The story of Naviv teaches us that God has full power over evil and that he does justice and revenge in his own wise time and way. And we think that this Aries eclipse marks such a time as we welcome it. The enemies. We further predict that the eclipse will have a devastating effect of the satanic leaderships, with emphasis on upper echelon hierarchies, organizations, and personnel. We seek the heads of serpents being slashed over the bodies, with the Aries eclipse being symbolized by the sword. Okay, that's why the sword came up. Okay. That is held by the extremely powerful heavenly figure. We are going to see great turmoil within the ranks to the extent that profound forms of surrender, confessions, cooperation begin to happen in dramatic ways. It's going to kind of get ugly before it gets better. And you want that. You really do. It has to be broken down. It's a false evil template. It has to be broken down. Someone had commented like, but this is how we survive. Yeah, but you've been surviving off of an evil demonic template. It's not really surviving. You've been the slave the whole time. Okay? All of us. Extend to the profound forms of surrender, confessions, corporations, okay, tides of global war, and quest for control. There are leaders and controllers of the dark side that we are not fully aware of, but this eclipse will bring the secret leaders, networks, hierarchies of Satan to light, in process which will precede crushing defeats of their hideous side. We'll be able to see the spiritual warfare, which we are. I mean, many of us are filming it with great new clarity and awe through the alchemy of the eclipse. And now we see a board that will, the checkmate. Remember, Aries is the warrior. We're actually in the new year. March is actually the new year. The rebirth of the self for the good and divine is a major eclipse theme to be aware of. The eclipse will usher in a great new energy and momentum that should be used to advance next level personal changes and transformations that advance healing, empowerment, enrichment, spirituality, and positive global impact. We sense that we should all be focused on rising above things that have confined or restricted us, especially on a personal, spiritual, and psychological levels, so that we can conquer our shadow and transform into the highest self, like the phoenix rising, which came from the sun the other day, out of the ashes of the old. Wow, this is all so aligned. It's amazing. It's undeniable. This is a time to reclaim and project personal power on individual and concentrated collective levels to advance divine global change. Warriors, leaders, trailblazers, transformations are part of this. Divine calling of leaderships are coming. Be strong, confident, and faithful. And when yours comes, also be ready to recognize and receive your new battle. Your new battle buddies. So you're going to align with a lot of others that are on your mission as well, with their mission. Immunities. The 19th degree of Aries has a mystical connection to poisons and immunities, so that we predict great activity on these levels in the months ahead and emphasize on new poison awareness, defense, and eradication, as well as the development of wonderful new immunities through process of science, spirit, magic, and mystery. Go the way the new immunities that begin to show you in your life, and make time to study and apply new methods of detoxification that are presented to you post-eclipse. Be innovative, entrepreneurial, and business-minded with new breakthrough in medicine and healing science. High-level barriers to mass healing will be coming down. This is a huge container coming down from the higher levels to this world with new ways that, not new ways, ancient ways, but will be new to us on a massive scale within the next 2 years. So be ready to venture into new frontiers of healing potential, services, science, and investment. God will be teaching us how to develop new resilience and immunity to evil and disease so that we can heal on a personal and social levels. Apply the curse in action. The soul speaks. The eclipse will unlock profound new depths of knowledge, wisdom, understanding, and paranormal sense with respect to our souls. We're entering an extremely unique astrological cycle where the tapping in of new soul power and revigoration will be like master keys to new success in life, Concentrate on soul healing, soul growth, soul power, expression in times ahead, because this is where the God light will be cast. Find your inner God, because you are God creator, if you forgot. Your God-given power, and he used it in ways that you never have before, and will in this will hasten the arrival of heaven on earth, which can all have a hand in if we so choose. The new enlightenment on our individual soul missions and histories will also come forward. That goes along with the reading I did yesterday of all like your ancient self in many different layers will all align with your now self. This aligns with everything that I was reading yesterday. This is really amazing. The new enlightenment of our individual soul missions and histories will also come forward in ways that will be emotionally intense and transformational in purpose. New soulmate connections from past lives will soon become mysteriously abundant. Recognize what is sacred and proceed accordingly. The severance, the sword, the severance. Just as surely as Aries governs the sword and weaponry, this eclipse cycle will manifest a theme of spiritual vital severance in our lives. We've repeatedly seen imagery of sword slashing at things that harm and contain us from the higher things in divine order that God's will. Therefore, we predict a powerful theme of severance and sudden disconnection from things in our lives that must go or end at this time for the will of God to be done and for our highest interest to be served. We especially sense this on an employment, relationship, and locational levels. If a major severance occurs in your life with or shortly after the eclipse, spend time contemplating the spiritual reason why. Remember, there's always a reason. We also sense an eclipse theme of allies being hidden on the enemy side, who will emerge with special forms of aid to enable impossible successes. Infiltration works both ways, after all. Honor the clandestine heroes behind enemy lines. The warrior mode. If there was ever a time to be in a warrior mode, it is now. God will be granting warrior enhancements through this eclipse so that we can each be more effective warriors of light, truth, justice, universally beneficial outcomes. New battles for power and control will be breaking out in all tiers of society. Warriors of the light will be favored. This is a time to be fearless in action, deed, and purpose, and divine protections will be granted to heroes, heroines, and those who step up in service of righteous causes. This includes defectors from the enemy side who turn to the light. More than ever before, we must be what is missing in this world. We must be the solution we seek, right? For there is a great reward in doing so. Be ready to charge ahead when God gives you your opening. This is a time of historical breakthroughs and victories, so take your place in them. Purge. That came up too, the purge. That's interesting. Purge the 7 deadly sins to climb higher on your warrior path, and the new earth is born on April 8th, 2024. The personal eclipse science. Thanks to the marvelous celestial science of astrology, which God created, we each have the opportunity to understand how this eclipse will affect our personal life. First and foremost, it is wise and precious to know which of your 12 houses it will be activated as the house. Well, actually, there's 13 houses. As the house will soon become extremely hot in great ways, we offer industry-leading birth charts for this This is this person's page. So if you want to know more, it's Starseed Astrology. But this aligns honestly with everything that I've been reading, picking up on, feeling, and many of you have been too. You'll know. There's no doubt. You won't question it. And if you're just like, well, I don't know what you're talking about. There may be, you got to do a little more. This is all about your soul. It's all about your soul in this world, this breaking down the false templates that have been put upon Mother Gaia. And it's necessary. And no fear. You just got to go with it and trust. Or don't, I don't think there's not going to be a gray area. This is left or right. And I've been picking up on that for about 5 years now. There's going to come a time, spiritually, esoterically, physically, it's going to be left or right. Are you going to honor your soul? Or are you going to keep dishonoring your soul and not listen to your instincts and keep going an old way? Or or are you going to step through and break through fear? False evidence appears real. Face everything and rise, and step forward into who you truly are and honor you, no matter what, no matter how much crap you get from other people. It's because they're lost, and they don't like that you're breaking out of a crappy mold that you don't want to align in anymore. You know, you want to align into the highest version of yourself. Hopefully, the people who come to my channel, they do. Okay, these are souls that want to truly align to their purpose, their mission, to be the best version of themselves, to let go, to heal old traumas, to heal old wounds. It's big. You know, we're in this time. That is the blood of the Lamb, the Aries. We are in this. It's the warrior, and we're filming it. You know, it's all around you and everything all around you. It's not just one spot. Like, well, where is, you know, people, well, where is this battle in heaven? Well, you're walking through it. You're living through it every single day. Every choice you make, every choice someone else makes to come at you, that's the battle. That's the battle right there. It comes right into our 3D world. People you choose to align with or you don't align with, it's big. And you know, just listen to your soul. Trust your instincts. Your instincts will not lead you wrong. Ever. It's your God compass. It's the divine compass in you. So I really wanted to share this. This is the, you know, if you're interested, this is the person's website. I align with a lot of this. I actually read a lot of this stuff, and then I love finding other people that are talking about the same thing like I just read in a reading, you know, when I did a reading, and that was the sword. That's the sword that came out yesterday in the reading of Aries. You know, it's Archangel Michael's sword that has been put into earth now, because Archangel Michael is real, and Archangel Michael's sword has been planted in the earth. His foot, you know, remember that movie that came out about all the child trafficking? That was the footprint of Archangel Michael on the earth, exposing the darkness here, you know. So this is going to be really interesting. It is. And another seal has been broken, and this aligns with what I posted in the community from I don't even know how this person's channel came up on my feed one day, and it just aligns with me and what I know and feel and understand, and talking about the Assyrian gods and in 2020 and what went down in 2020, and this is the pathway that's going over this, and that would be, to me, like the divine walking on the earth, or Archangel Michael exposing what has to be exposed, you know. And I don't know, if you're asleep, I'm sorry. I hope you wake up soon because it's all happening, man. Thanks for being here. Thanks for listening. You can go read this yourself as well, because this is the blood of the Lamb, 19 degrees in Aries, the warrior, God's warrior is here, and this can't keep going on like this. And James Gilliland has been talking about this for decades now, about how the monetary system's going to change because it has to. And I'm not talking like digital crap. That's not what I'm talking about, and that's not what he's talking about. The gold over in China, something about with that, he's been talking about that for decades, because our financial system is broken. It's so broken. It's crooked. It's deceptive. So you want this to fall apart. I know it's scary, and I know it is, but you want this to break down because it is a false template. And we're not benefiting off of it. They are benefiting off of us. We have been the slave the whole time. So we are rising now, and we are. Stay blessed.